Hello, hello, beautiful people. I hope you're doing well today. June 30th in my world as I record this. We got a reading, and our quote comes from somebody whose name I could pronounce. I guess that's a sign it's going to be a super day, right? Coming to us from John Steinbeck. If we can learn to like ourselves, even a little, maybe our cruelties and angers might melt away. From the day we're born until the day we die, we live closely, intimately with one person, ourselves. We are our own judge and jury, often in a harsh, self-imposed courtroom setting. Now in recovery, we can take a new, honest, and loving look at ourselves. We can recognize our assets as well as our liabilities. As we become more worthy of trust, our self-respect and self-esteem grow. As we accept our higher power's love for us, we learn. We learn to forgive ourselves and handle our fragile selves with new care. We become our own best friend. With kindness and caring, we break through the years and layers of pain and find the joyful child who is growing into a healthy, loving adult. Today, as I grow in recovery, I pray that I may learn to like myself better and treat myself and others in a healthy, cheerful way. Can you relate to that? Can you relate to us having to live with ourselves and how hard we've been along the way? I've shared with you that my motivation is generally internal, and it definitely has been driven in the past and still sometimes now with a little bit of those voices. Oh shit, you didn't get it done, or oh, you didn't make the deadline, you're a loser, blah blah blah. You know, like those voices are not very kind to us. I know you might think I'm crazy. I have voices in my head, but it's okay. It's the only way I can relate to what's happening, what I'm thinking. It's them damn voices. So as we get further and further away from a bet, though, maybe we don't change the voices right away. But what I found happens is as I learn to love myself, forgive myself, care for myself, go a little easier on myself, as I learn to be grateful for everything, including my mistakes, it's a lot easier to break that pattern and to be like, okay, this is all right. Even the mistakes that, again, I have much gratitude for, help me along the way. And as I get a clearer mind, I know that everything has value in helping me become the better person I'll be tomorrow. And I say tomorrow because every day I want to be better than yesterday. That's what it's about. It's that growing and evolving. And since we do have to put up with ourselves every single day, why wouldn't we want to love ourselves and take care of ourselves and nurture ourselves? It goes back to that, do we treat ourselves like we would treat our best friend? And it's a big switch. And it begs the question, like, where did we get this shit from? We weren't born to beat ourselves up. Like, where did we get this mentality? It's pretty sad. Why don't we grow up to be just confident and able to show our beauty inside and out and comfortable with loving ourselves and talking about it and just exuding it? Because once we accept ourselves for who we are and appreciate the value that we bring to the world, to our families, to ourselves, it makes life worth living. It really, truly does. And if we, as a society, or as our culture, whatever culture that is, grew up thinking that way, would we have as many losses to suicide with gambling and with those voices winning, or any addiction for that matter, or whatever reason that people find that that's their only way out? other people can feed that, and we have to embrace it when other people do show us love. Like, that was part of my struggle, was accepting love and letting the walls down. But how do we help everybody know that they're worthy of love? Because everybody is. And how do we love ourselves better? And it probably starts with forgiveness. I think that would be the best starting point. If we're hanging on to past mistakes or things that we're not proud of, let's forgive ourselves of those things. And again, if we tie gratitude to it, thank you for teaching me this lesson. Thank you for letting me be aware of this lesson so that I can learn from it, so that I can grow. That's what makes us unique and stronger. It's really interesting, the journey. And I love how it says we become our own best friend. And with kindness and caring, we break through the years and layers of pain. Now, it says there, layers and years of pain. Well, you can't undo any long period of time's stuff overnight. So again, that forgiveness tool and that grateful tool kind of come in handy. Oh, okay. This didn't happen to me yesterday. This is 20 years of this feeling or 40 years of this feeling. So it's going to take me a minute to change my perspective on this and to change that feeling. The final line before the today quote is, find the joyful child who is growing into a healthy, loving adult. For those of you who listen that don't know me intimately and know all the reasons why I started this podcast and what my vision is, this is the first reading that ties into what my master plan is. And that is to provide a place for people in recovery, people wanting to not use, not relapse, not gamble. My goal is to make a place where people can be kids again. It's part of why there's kid in the name of the show and the name of my business. So I value that on such a deep level. I'm learning from who I'm exposed to and reflecting my background and especially watching Kai, that if we don't, we might not have had a chance to be kids when we should have been kids. And I believe that may set a lot of people who suffer with addiction. I think it's a baseline. If we didn't get to play or not have responsibility or not have to think about heavy things. For me, my heavy things were in my teenage years, a lot of heavy things in a very short period of time. And that's where for me, my walls started coming up. And I want to go back to what's it like to be swinging on a swing or not having to worry about anything from money or parents or whatever comes with some of the things that I had to be responsible for when I was younger. I want to play now. That's pretty much, most people ask me, like, why don't I have children? Or they say, do you have children? At this age, I definitely, if I was going to have them, I should have had them by now. And now that I'm fixed, I'm definitely not having them. But a lot of that is because I recognized some of it was very I had a couple my I don't know why I'm telling you this. It's probably because I shared this with my neighbor over the weekend. But my first rule was I didn't want to have kids until I was able to be a good parent and provide more than I felt that I might have had through different periods of time in my life. And then the more I came into myself, the more I realized that I like taking care of Bobby. You know, it's been selfish at times. No different than my gambling career was a very selfish thing. But I like to play. I like to have fun. I literally like games and puzzles. I want to go in bouncy houses and ball pits, and I just want to have fun and be silly. And if I'm having fun and being silly, I'm not betting. You know, traditionally, it's hard to do both things at the same time. And we deserve that. We deserve to play. I think there's live, laugh, love, some saying like that. It should actually have play in there too, but I guess that comes with the laughing in some cases, but not taking ourselves too serious. And to the reading's point, we're with ourselves every day. We're our own best friend, or we should be. So wouldn't you make sure your best friend had a good time, enjoyed life, made the most of every moment? That's what you would want for anybody you care about. So let's want that for ourselves. That's a pretty good reading. I like that. Of course, I like anything that has us look inward. All right. Well, I have been debating if I was going to tell you this or not. And I guess I'm going to tell you because it puts me in full-on commit to you mode. I am excited to tell you that we are going to do our first challenge. I've been doing a lot of challenges and a lot of learning individually, and we are ramping up for an August 1st date, and we are going to do, it'll be like I don't want to say independent. It's going to be a guide, a 30-day guide, a 30-day challenge on how to quit gambling. And I'm over the moon excited to get this out to you guys. And it's coming, and more details will come as I go throughout the month. But I think that since there's so much secrecy around gambling and our habits and all those feelings that come with it, it'll be private and personal, and just another tool to help get us going, get away from the bet, and get us thinking hopefully a little bit different, so that I can give you and share with you some of what's got me to the place I'm at, being positive and grateful and just having this life that is so different than when I was betting. So different, so beautiful. So much of that joy and that playing. A lot of work. You know, I'm always talking about the work, and the challenge will have some work in it, but just kind of a different strategy to share the message. A little different than the podcast, a little bit more independent work. So I'll have more details about that as we get a little closer, but I guess I was just too excited. I couldn't not tell you. So that'll be coming. Like I said, I'll tell you more as we progress in July. Just want to say that I appreciate you guys being here. I hope I tell you that enough. I really am. I'm so grateful. I'm a little stressed about when I have to go back to the office. I don't know what my life would look like not chatting with you twice a day. I really feel like my memory is horrible. And a lot of that is because this is my impression, I don't know the science, but once I release something, like once I say it, do it, whatever, I don't hang on to it. And I guess it goes back to my belief about my bucket, whether it's negative or positive. It's just, I don't need my bucket overflowing and causing pressure to where I need to go bet or drink or do whatever. So I just forget things and move on. And I see, just explaining it to you, I forgot where I was going with this. Oh, I know where I was going with this. Jeez. And I even went and bought coffee this morning. I should be a little more dialed in. Anyway, by getting to spend my mornings and evenings with you, I get to empty my bucket twice a day. And no different than if you went to a meeting or a group. Oh, I went to group last night too. I guess I'll have to tell you guys about that tonight. We're still working on step 6. So, yeah, I'll make a note. We'll chat about my group last night. It was so good to see my peeps and my counselor, and I actually got lectured. So I got in trouble with the director. So that's why I'll make sure that we chat about that tonight. But I'm already over time for today. So have a good day, my beautiful people. I am going to go be awesome. One more thing, though, I got to tell you. And I'll post pictures on my social media. But I started babysitting beautiful Mia today. It was supposed to happen yesterday, but she went for her shots and I didn't get her. So stay tuned for Not My Mia is what I've kind of called her. She's not mine, even though I'm going to get to have her about 40 hours a week. And I am so looking forward to it. Animals are just amazing. All right. I will talk to you tonight. Have a fabulous day, my friends. Bye-bye.